Hello everyone, my name is Asyrafchazz and welcome back to yet another One Piece card game video. And in this video, we're going to finally cover the OP-02 metagame. Now, for those of you who are enjoying the English release, don't worry, will be a kind of a guide for you. When OP-02 comes along for the English release, you can refer to these decks or kind of make tweaks according to how your playstyle goes, but it's good to kind of know what to expect once OP-02 comes around. So all of this information is given by various sources, but I'm gonna do a special shout out to my main co-commentator, none other than YT Noah channel. Noah himself took it upon him to kind of do these graphics for the OP-02 metagame, so please go follow his Twitter account and subscribe to his YouTube channel as well, so that you can kind of see all the decks up to date. So we're going to use his Twitter page as a reference, as a resource, and you should use them too if you kind of want to know the decks that people are playing all around the Asian region of the One Piece card game. So if you enjoy this video, please consider giving a like and subscribing if you want to keep up to date with more One Piece card game content, because I'm so excited to talk about OP-02 and I really can't wait to make the decks that are in OP-02 as well. But first, I want to thank the sponsor of this video, Interlude. Interlude offers a variety of great products with awesome looking artwork such as playmats, sleeves, and they sent me some stuff to share with you guys. They sent me these amazing looking sleeves of Luffy, and I just really love how the artwork looks like. He looks super badass over here. And not only that, right now they have custom Dawn cards available on their website with the same Luffy artwork and this one of Yamato. They also sent me this awesome Beach Burglar cloth playmat with our favorite navigator on it, and it comes with this really nice looking storage bag so you can easily bring it around to your locals. Now, I try to keep the stuff on my channel a little family friendly, but as the name suggests, Interlude does have some products with artworks that are a little spicy, but it's all done in great taste. So if you want to check out their products, their website link is in the description below. Go check that out. They all look absolutely fantastic. Now, the one thing I love about Interlude is that they support a cause that I personally support 100%, which is hashtag Save the Boobs. They donate a portion of the profits towards the Breast Cancer Research Foundation, so not only are you getting great looking artworks on the products, it's also for a good cause as well. So if you're a One Piece fan and you love your waifus, you gotta hashtag Save the Boobs. You can use the discount code CHAZZ10 on checkout for 10% off all of your orders, and they provide worldwide shipping as well. So thank you Interlude for sponsoring this video, and don't forget to hashtag Save the Boobs. So first, we're going to talk about the Singapore Asian Championship that happened recently. If you want to see the first 8 rounds, we do have a live stream on my channel. Just check out the live tab and you can see the matches. I have left timestamps to each individual match as well. However, they did not manage to do the top 16 before the area closed, but we'll talk about top 16 decks in this video. So first of all, a total of 469 players. That's nice. And that 16 players, 6 of them were Red Zoro. Zoro is just really strong right now in OP-02. We'll probably do like a breakdown of the deck itself later on, as well as on his own video if you guys would like that. And so there's 5 green Kinemon. Kinemon, we already know the power of the deck, as well as 2 Kaidos, 1 red-green Trafalgar Law, 1 red Luffy, as well as 1 blue Ivankov. Ivankov was another deck that Noah and I thought was going to be one of the most popular decks in the tournament, but you know, only one made it to the top 16. So kudos to that player, but we're going to talk about each of the decks individually. So let's start by taking a look at the Red Zoro list. So this is kind of a breakdown of the Zoro list. This is the top 2 Zoro list. Hanyong, great player. Go check out Team Seafood King on Twitter as well. So he made it to the top 2. Now, the reason why there's no like first place is because the top 2 essentially gets the same price, so they didn't have to play it up. So the Zoro lists are kind of almost the same. They do have like a core that they use, and one of the stronger cards that have come out from OP-02 is the reason why this Zoro list exists. It's none other than Makino. Makino, it's activate main. You may vest this character up to one of your red characters with a cost of 1, gets plus 3000 power during this turn. So you know, if you're using it alongside the Nami, the Searcher, 1 cost Searcher Nami from OP-01, it's like immediately you can attack in for 5k with Zoro's ability 6k, and you can even pump it off even more with more Makinos on your side of the field. Not only that, you do have access to one of the best new Searchers in the game. It's none other than Curly the Dan. On play, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 red character that costs 1 or less and add it to your hand, and then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. So it searches 1 cost red cards, which you know that red wants, Zoro wants, so you can curly that then into a Nami and then continue searching for something else. And this version of the Zoro deck uses the Gordon from the film Uta deck, as well as in conjunction with good old Otama, so you can kind of get rid of your opposing characters. Whitebeard, because Whitebeard is kind of like the linchpin of the deck. It's Zoro's just dropping down all these one costed characters, and then you're dropping down your Whitebeard at the end, and it just makes your opponent it's hard to get rid of Whitebeard, that's the thing, but it's hard to attack into your opponent once the Whitebeard drops down, because then you will be at a 7,000 base power for until your next turn, and that is one of the big moves that Whitebeard wants to do in this current metagame right now. It's extremely strong. This deck is just a really good, and you have new cards additions like Vista and good old reliables like Zoro, Uta to kind of get back your searchers or get back your cards that you need, and of course rounding it off with Jet Pistol and the 2-cost event Gomu Gomu no Red Hawk. He does have the unblockable Luffy in this list as well, maybe in terms of like the grindier mirror with a lot of blockers. And in this version, the reason why people are favoring using the 1-cost Sunny-kun from the Uta film deck is because he has the subtrait of Straw Hat Crew, makes it easy to search with Nami, because Nami search Straw Hat Crew, as well as Dadan. So it's just an additional way to kind of search for that card, and people just like been favoring Sunny-kun. And it, for Sunny-kun, also another target for Makino, another just low costed and able to attack character. And this is what Zoro wants to do. He wants to kind of just have a lot of these small 1-cost characters that kind of do the job for you. You just need one Dawn on Zoro and another on the card itself to get up to 5k. You can have Makinos on the field to pump up the other 1-cost character cards, and then you can make like Sunny-kun with Makino 6,000, with Zoro 7,000, and then your opponent has to drop like 2 different counters, or at least counter like 3,000 or more to kind of prevent an attack from a 1-costed character card. That shows how strong Zoro is. And then you just do that game plan, control the board a little bit until you drop your Whitebeard and you go for the win. This is why Zoro is so strong in this current meta game, and a lot of people have been playing it, and it's proven. There's a lot of decks, Zoro decks, in the top 16. So also another congratulations to Brandon as well for playing Kaido. Kaido also is around doing this meta game. Specifically, I think they want to have a counter against Zoro. So say you have like your big blockers in the Queen, you have King to get rid of the small stuff, especially the 7-cost King, which does really well against Zoro because you can get rid of 2 characters that are like small characters. And then of course the kind of reset button in the form of 10-cost Kaido from OP-01. Very interesting choices of Shiki. My guess, it's like, okay, if your opponent hits into your life, then you play out your Shiki because she's triggered dominance one, play this card, right? And then you can use it to attack into your opponent's characters. I believe that's why it's for. If I'm wrong, please let me know in the comment section below. But this is also a very interesting take on the deck itself to kind of combat the Zoro metagame. Alright, next up, another deck that I was very excited to see in the tournament is none other than Kinemon. Kinemon is just such a great deck. It's just really good in the current meta game right now. And if you guys are unsure, it's Kinemon's ability to just drop down threats early. You can play, if you have 2 Dawn, you can just straight up play out an Kiku. If you need to, you can play out a Izo, and that 4-cost Yamato from OP-02 is one of the best cards that have come out for green in that set, because it's not only a good body for cost 6,000 power, but it can rest something like a blocker or a character, and then it just out tempos your opponent. So it has a lot of the bells and whistles from green. So if you're playing Eustace Kid in OP-01 right now and you kind of want to anticipate what deck to play next, Kinemon is definitely the next one, because it has a lot of the similar tools. You're playing your Capone Gang Beige, you're playing your Jewelry Bonnie, you're playing the Killer Blocker, you're playing Nekomamushi, you're playing the 2-cost Apu because it's searchable with Jewelry Bonnie. But now you have more options to search with Momonosuke, and you can have 2 different searches to kind of refill your hand and your top end. I know this deck doesn't play it, but some decks play the 8-cost Odin from the OP-02, but this version plays just 4 of the 7-cost Eustace Kid from the green starter deck. Now the 8-cost Eustace Kid has kind of fallen out of favor a little bit because of the abundance of black decks running around. It's just easily it's just easy to get rid of, but you know, there's different versions of this deck to exist. None of them, this is not a stock list. You can kind of take reference from it, but you can tweak it to your current metagame, or you can tweak it to how you would like. You like Odin, put it in. You like the 8-cost kit anyway, just slam in the deck and it will still work fine. If you don't want to use Kinemon as a leader, sure, just use your Eustace kit. And it doesn't really matter. Eustace kit as your leader, you can just swap it in. This package still works. It's just that Kinemon has that ability to just discount one of your 3-cost or higher characters. It's just why this deck is really quite good and why Kinemon is very popular as well. Now we're just going to talk about the newer decks right now, and one of them that I'm really like happy to see is none other than Ivankov. So congratulations to the Ivankov player. Right now, you know, Ivankov has a really strong package from OP-02, and it's none other than an Impel Down package. You drop down your Ivankov, the 7-cost Ivankov, you drop to 3 cards, you play a Luffy, you play a Crocodile, you can play your blockers as well, and it's really quite good. I think that this is, like, other than all the Zoro decks out there, this is a really strong deck to be playing right now. I think Inazuma is definitely one of the most slept on card. I think a lot of people are playing it, of course Ivankov, but Inazuma just like really strong. You can go up to 7,000 power, be a very good blocker, and at the same time you can drop it down alongside Ivankov when you use Ivankov's ability, the character Ivankov. And Luffy is good at clearing blockers at the late game because you can just discard 2 cards from your hand while attacking and then just return something that costs 4 or lower back to your opponent's hand. And then you see your familiar top ends in the form of Doflamingo as well as Dracul Mihawk, and then the new stage card Newcomer Lands, good for filtering out draws. And this version plays the Arabesque Brick Fist event card to just return something of cost of 4 less to the owner's hand. But I've seen some version play Gomu Gomu no Rain as well as kind of like a surprise counter. I know Asa's version from the Japanese Championship event is slightly different, but it kind of plays out in the same way. You're using Ivankov to kind of set up first with all your, you know, Doflamingos, maybe even your Buggy to do the searches, and then when you're ready, you drop down your 7-cost Ivankov. You're literally countering stuff, or you're dropping cards onto the field. When you drop your Ivankov, you either play a Crocodile, you either play the Luffy, or you play one of the other blockers like Mr. 2, Mr. 3, Inazuma, and then at the end of the turn, you just refill your hand up to 2. And then you just keep on going. I always thought that, you know, you would need a lot of counters in this deck or in this game itself, but because of the abundance of blockers that Ivankov's deck has, it's just really quite good. So I'm really excited. I really want to try Ivankov one day. I just don't have all the pieces yet because I haven't opened up a lot of OP-02, but, you know, definitely gonna try it one day. Now we're going to jump over to the Asia Championship that happened in Thailand. Thailand as well had a very awesome coverage as well as, you know, all these breakdowns. So shout out to Halois Home. I know I was just sharing it on his Twitter page, but this is Passupon. I do apologize if I'm saying your name wrongly, but congratulations on 3rd place with Smoker. We did see some Smoker decks in Singapore, but none of them made to the top 16. But this version is, you know, what you expect to see from a black deck. You got your Admirals, you got your Kuzans, your Sakazuki, you got your Kizaru, and then of course at the top end you have your 10-cost Secret Rare Kuzan because it's just a really strong card. And then the same old, like this version has the Smoker from the starter deck because, you know, maybe it's not easy to get rid of with the effects, and its ability to get double attack is also extremely strong. And then you round it off with all the other black cards with your Meteor Rain as well as Impact Wave. Just a solid deck. I think if you're playing Smoker, this is a great deck list to take reference from. I really like this deck, and so congratulations to Passupon as well. But in the 2nd place of the tournament, it's someone who played Whitebeard. Now this, I really love this list because it's not playing a lot of the Whitebeard package cards. It's playing a lot of the Straw Hat package cards, as well as, you know, good old Makino right there. Essentially, you know, there's different versions of Whitebeard. Now there were people in Singapore who played Whitebeard as well, and it's a risky deck to play because at the end of the turn you got to put 1 life from your life area to your hand, and, you know, in a high value tournament like this with a lot of players, it's not a risk that a lot of people want to take. But the fact that this mad lad took it to 2nd place, you know, congratulations to him. He has all my respect in the world, and this is the list that I really want to try as well. It's kind of playing a little bit similar to the package of the Zoro, but it has a lot of more higher end mid-rangey threats like the 4-cost Frankie and the 4-cost Luffy, the 5-cost Rush Luffy, as well as the Ace card that we see right there. So I really would want to play with this deck eventually. I think it's a really interesting deck, but if you need any references for Whitebeard deck list, this is one of them, or you can go for the traditional Whitebeard version with all of the Whitebeard cards. Now, of course, this is just a summary of the OP-02 metagame. These are all the new decks that have been kind of showing up. Not a lot of Magellan, some Z decks have been showing up as well, but we didn't really see them in over the coverage side. But you know, there have been lists on Twitter. If you want a really good reference point to kind of like deck list, I highly suggest following YT Noah channel. Not only because he gives a lot of great resources for deck lists over on his Twitter page, but generally he's a really cool guy. You've seen him commentating beside me, and really awesome dude. So thank you, Noah, for the resources. Thank you for everyone who posted up the deck list as well. So this is just a short rundown of the OP-02 metagame. This is what you can kind of expect when OP-02 comes along for the English release of the One Piece card game. Whatever it is, this is just reference points. You can still play your red green laws. I'm not talking about red green law, but it has new tools to kind of play in the current metagame. You know, with Dadan, with the Makino, you can play even Magra as well from OP-02, and even old decks like Luffy has Whitebeard right now that you can add to it. You can add so many things from OP-02 to your OP-1 decks and then just be fine. But this is just a summary of the OP-02 metagame. I hope this video proves useful to anyone who watches it currently playing in the metagame, or will play the metagame coming out for the English release. So this is kind of like your in-between. Maybe, you know, enjoy OP-01 as for what it is, and then after that you can kind of go into OP-02 after that. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I wanted to talk more about individual decks once I get like proper lists and also test it out, because I don't like doing like deck profiles on decks I've never played before. So maybe I go and try out some of the decks, maybe figure like what works, what the cards you want to look out for, and I will make more videos on that as well. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys found this useful. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.